Good afternoon, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. Before innovation became the buzzword that it is today, it was something very simple. We picked it up as kids. My first run into innovation had no technology, no mentors, no funding, just a few friendly dogs. Yes, you heard me right, just a few friendly dogs. Now picture this. We are in the 1980s. We are in a quaint village in Maharashtra. Summer holidays. No schedules, no studies, and no screens. Yes, children, no screens. So, what do we do all day? It's us and it's some dogs. You know, they are fat dogs, thin dogs, friendly dogs, perpetually hungry dogs. So, what are we to do? Us and the dogs. We keep running around the village in full pursuit of absolutely nothing all the time. But noon is the time when we came home. And now we used to be tired, sweaty, and feeling exhausted and very, very hungry. This was the time where our problem began. We were all made to sit on the floor in a line. We were wearing thin cottons, and the floor was hot. The afternoon heat was horrid, horrible, and unkind. And the biggest problem now, no electricity. Electricity was like a rumor in our village. It existed, it didn't, we had no idea. So we would be sitting there, our plates with hot food in front of us, the rice is steaming, we are sweating, and very soon we can taste our own sweat in the rice. Not a pleasant experience, I tell you. Until one day I decided this has to change. This cannot be how we have lunch for the entire summer holidays. I had a small idea and I spoke to my cousins who immediately jumped up to it. So next noon, everything goes the same. We all come in, we sit in our line, hot food is served in front of us. Now beyond us, just across us, we serve bowls for the dogs. Food is there and they jump in, they run in, they are, wagging their tails rigorously in excitement. And this is where the magic happened. Now look at this picture, guys. So what we kids did, we took these hand fans and we tied it to the tails of the dogs. The dogs were happy, their tails were wagging, there was air circulation, and finally us children, we could have a little more survivable lunch. What this story taught me was that innovation begins small, it begins messy, it begins contextual and very, very human. It is our basic human instinct, and you, me, each one of us have it in it to innovate. So today, I want you to chisel this innovation. I want you to know about the path where we learn the art of innovation, the art to be a Dhurandhar. So ladies and gentlemen, unleash your Dhurandhar. Today's talk, I am going to have 7 small chapters. So just like a syllabus, you know how much more is coming to you. Chapter number 1, let's go to the side project. Now, we always ask an unfair question to especially young people. What is your passion? It is a very difficult question to answer, to have just one passion that will define your entire life. So what do we do in this scenario? Bollywood tells us, apna time aayega. But that's okay. Jab tak time nahi aayega, what are we supposed to do? Let me tell you what to do. Guys, we all have tiny things that we love, small interests, things that random rabbit holes that make us itch, side projects that keep us awake at night. Work on those projects. Keep working on them when nobody is looking. Work on them when nobody is clapping, because those projects are what will lead you to your passion. Because a Dhurandhar knows that a passion is not really something that will just arrive to you. It is built brick by brick, experiment by experiment, mistake by mistake. So ladies and gentlemen, make your mistakes, have your experiments, and keep going ahead. Because a Dhurandhar knows that your life should be a collection of creative interests. And I want every one of you here to have a life that is full of interests that enrich it. And this enrichment takes me to the second chapter, which says finding rare through average. Often we feel that we are just average human beings. Now let me tell you, most of us love a quote, connect the dots. Wonderful quote. But I have a small problem here. I feel most of us do not have enough dots to connect, and that is where the problem begins. So what are these dots, you ask me? You, me, everyone, we are all unique, and we have our experiences are uniquely personal. And these dots are what make the story of our life. And I would like each one of us to have a very meaningful life story, a great life story, an outstanding life story. So how do you do that? How do you enrich your dots? So what does dot enrichment look like? Read a book that is not part of your syllabus. Go meet people who have ideologies, views completely different from yours. Go ahead, do things that scare you, because these things will start enriching your dots. Your dots will start converting into circles, and these ordinary looking dots will start overlapping. And this overlap is, ladies and gentlemen, where you will find something rare, because these dots are unique to you, and this overlap is where your spark of innovation lies. So innovation begins one messy step at a time and one messy overlap at a time. So please look at these rare overlaps and enrich your life. Now let's come to the chapter 3, which is the myth of a straight line. We always believe that life should be in an order. You go to school, you go to college, you have a career, you have success, and it is a neatly packaged life. The same we think about innovation. We want innovation to arrive packaged, neatly wrapped, gift wrapped, maybe with a bow on top. But that is not how it looks. And then we may just miss it. Because innovation, when it arrives to you, it is messy, it looks incomplete, and for the longest time, it may not even work. But you need to stick with it. You need to continue believing in it and working with it. Because innovation will begin one messy step at a time. This takes me to chapter 4, that is non-linear thinking. All of us have been in Mumbai traffic. All of us has gotten stuck. We have rerouted, adjusted, crawled forward, made plan B, plan C, learned creative abuses along the way. But we always make it to the destination. That is how life is. Life is messy. Life is chaotic. Life is not a straight line. So when you are trying to do something, don't wait for clarity. Movement comes first. Clarity will follow. Keep moving ahead. So if you are at A and you want to go to B but you don't see it in sight, go to C. Take a random U-turn to Z. Have an existential crisis, my friends, and then come to B. Because that is how life is. Life is non-linear, and so is innovation. Now that you have started, enriching your life with interests, with your dots are enriching, you are thinking non-linear, the most important point here is to jump the curve. Whenever we are planning to do something, we need to be revolutionary. We can't do something slightly better. So don't look at doing something 10% better. Do something that builds a new curve altogether. If we look at the example of Google Earth provided with a satellite image of our entire planet. A curve we couldn't ever even imagine was built. And what did that lead to? Someone said, why do we just have a satellite image? Why not live navigation? Here we get Google Maps. If we have live innovation and live navigation, why cannot we have food delivered to us? Okay, there comes your Zomato, your Swiggy. Now, why not on-call transport? And your Uber and Ola come into picture. And these are still smaller curves. Today, terrain mapping, infrastructure, defense, and a complete global AI intelligence has been created from the curve that Google Earth began. So, every one of you, if you are in the health sector, don't create a hospital with little more beds, some more comfort. Go make health pods that don't let diseases reach humans. If you're into education, don't just digitize your classrooms. Why not create AI mentors? If you're into transport, think of transport, no, rethink the entire movement pattern. So whatever your interest, wherever you're working, jump the curve, because a Dhurandhar knows that jumping the curve is where innovation really lies. And now, this brings me to a delicate chapter, that is chapter 6, Design is Respect. Now guys, you're being revolutionary, you're jumping curves, you're thinking about things that have never happened before. Here, always pay attention to design. Design is not something that is decoration. Design is not something that will come in later. Design has to be an intrinsic part of whatever you're doing. Let's look at a small example. Most of us must have enjoyed an Onam Sadhya, a meal that we have on a banana leaf. There is sambar, there is rice, avial, papad. Extremely satiating. And we must have all enjoyed this experience. Now if I tell you, let me give you the same sambar, the same rasam, the same avial in a beautiful plastic box. Do you think the experience of having the meal would be the same? Let me tell you, it wouldn't be. Now, why is that? That means that banana leaf is not just decoration. It is part of the flavor system. So, whenever we design, we need to look at materials, textures, feelings, emotions, and the entire experience of it. So, every Dhurandhar knows that you need to respect design, because until you do that, you will never be able to be a true innovator, a true Dhurandhar. And lastly, my friends, once you are innovating, you are respecting design, you are being revolutionary, many doors will start opening for you. Doors you didn't even know existed. You would be invited to tables you wouldn't even have imagined. And at this point, hold the door open. Pay it forward. Hold the door for the next Dhurandhar who doesn't know the way ahead. Hold the door open for someone who cannot believe in themselves, because there was a time you couldn't and somebody did it for you. So pay it forward. It is the way the next Dhurandhar will come in. So to sum it up guys, be multi-skilled, be fluid. Have you seen water? Water is fluid. Don't be rigid. Don't be constrained by the dogma and the cliches of the society. Be fluid. Ask the simplest of questions. Be unboxed. Make meaning. Jump the curve. And once you are on the curve, please hold the door for the next Dhurandhar, guys. Please be a Dhurandhar. Namaste.